Hello and welcome back to Ball Logic. Tonight, we're getting into the top 10 ads, not just for tomorrow, but for the rest of the week. Here is where you're going to win or lose your week. So stay with us. We'll get into it right after this. And yes, we are back. I am the horse, and joining me again for a nice little Friday night session here in Australia, it's Braino. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, always well when it's a Friday arvo, mate. I've started to get my voice back, so things are on the up. Work's finished for the week. Have a couple of brewskis to finish off the week, and there's some cricket on. Us Aussies are obviously very invested in that at the moment. So that yeah, sport everywhere. Couldn't be in a better place.
100%. But we are here to talk basketball. So let's get into it. Like, subscribe, bell, hype, thumb, the whole lot. Let's get it on. But also, if you're listening to us on audio, the 5-star review helps us out, helps keeps the lights on, but also spreads the word that Inside are pretty good when it comes to NBA fantasy and a bit of banter that comes along with it. So instead of us reviewing, I guess, today's games and the games that happened, Braino, you came up with the idea today that we should just get stuck into. There's 3 days left for the week. Let's get into the best ads for the people at home for them to look into for the rest of the weekend. And we feel like, yeah, there might be some spicy takes in there, but we honestly feel like these 10 players, given the certain categories that people are chasing, could be the absolute difference between a W and an L this week.
Yeah, and I think it's more so like we're looking at players with good opportunity. We're looking at players that are less than 20% rostered across Yahoo leagues as well, which means that there's every chance these guys might be on your waiver wire. They might be sitting there ready to be picked up. And I think a lot of the time when you come on a waiver wire show, you go, oh, yeah, they're talking about Ryan Nembhard, who's nearly 30% rostered now. Like, it's so hard to get guys like this that are so quickly grabbed. So these are the guys that we think might be flying under the radar a little bit, and hopefully these guys can not only carry you to a win this week, but hopefully give you some value over the next fortnight to 4 weeks as well.
100%. Let's get into it straight away. And to be honest with you, Braino, I am pretty surprised that this bloke is only at 18% owned. We know that Jar's out with that calf. We know that Memphis have been struggling. But is there anyone better in the league right now than Vince Williams Jr. at 18% owned to find you some assists?
Yeah, it's the assists, isn't it? Obviously, you're not getting points from him, and that's probably where, like, and I think Matrix said it on the show with Flanders last night, that Vince Williams Jr. doesn't pop up on you when you look at normal stock standard rankings and go, he's a guy you must grab, because he doesn't score points. He's not a huge rebounder, but there's some things he does pretty well. Efficiency's poor, but 6.3 assists over the last 7 days. Over the last 30 days, he's averaging 6.4 assists per game since Jar went down. He's also averaging a cheeky steal and 1.3 blocks over the last 7 days as well. So, like, the last 2 to 4 weeks have been elite for Vince Williams Jr., and I can guarantee you're probably well on your way to winning your assist category with him. If you manage to pick him up off waivers there for sure. But yeah, 18% rostered. There's every chance he's probably sitting there on the waiver wire in, potentially it's even 12 or 14 team leagues.
100%. 100%. Next, another bloke that loves an assist, but this guy's probably more of a stat sheet stuffer. Say that 10 times really quickly. And he's from the Indiana Pacers. We know that they've got Nembhard there. We know that they've got Pascal Siakam there. They're the two that run the rock with the starting five. But TJ McConnell coming off the bench, he's not flashy by any means, but just gets the job done night in, night out, doesn't he?
He's been so good. Yeah, so underrated. And I think it's the minutes that turn people off. People look at his role and they go, 17 minutes. Like, what's he going to do in 17 minutes? Well, let me tell you what he can do in 17 minutes. He can score 10 points. He can get 5 assists. He can get nearly 2 steals. And he can get you a cheeky block every now and again. And the big benefit, his assist to turnover ratio is elite. Like, he's not even over this season. He is only averaging 0.8 turnovers on 4.5 assists per game. So that is just, insane numbers. So again, we know how hard assists are to get off the waiver wire. This is a guy that'll get them for you, and he'll get you some steals as well. And look, if he's only one injury away from being incredibly relevant 25 to 28 minute a night role. Mm-hmm. So, if Indiana decide that, they want to go in a different direction, TJ's probably the guy that puts his hand up to start. So, yeah, for me, I'm very interested. He, over the last 14 days, is the 82nd best player in fantasy basketball. So, I mean, you can get a top 100 guy off the waiver wire this deep into the league. You've got to take him.
100% you do. Miles McBride's next from the New York Knicks, and we know that Jalen Brunson is the man that runs the show there. Karl Anthony Towns alongside him. Josh Hart has been playing a nice role in the starting five. OG Anunoby isn't too far away from returning, but you look at someone like Miles McBride, and while he's not one of my favourites on this list, he is still very, very relevant. New York have 2 games in the next 3 days as well, Braino. So do they rest someone, or do those minutes? It's not Tibbs coaching anymore. Do the starters actually play less minutes, which then enable the likes of Miles McBride to get more of a crack?
Potentially, yeah. Miles McBride's been starting recently, as of recent games as well. When Cats played the 5 and Mitch Robinson's been out of the lineup, they've gone with Brunson and McBride at the 1-2. So, look, whilst I agree with you. He's probably my least favourite on the list that we've got here. But in saying that, he's still borderline top 100 player over the last fortnight. He's 101st, and he's putting up 34 minutes a night. His efficiency over the last fortnight has been very good too. It's very rare that you get a guy shoot 3.5 threes per game and still shoot over 500 from the field. So, yeah, for me, there's some value there, definitely. We're talking about getting a guy who could present top 120 value, and you can get him off the waiver wire. And I think you could I reckon there's every chance he's there right now if you go and have a look at your league, because he does definitely turn you off in a few categories. He's poor, obviously doesn't get your blocks. He's pretty ordinary with steals as a guard. He's a great on-ball defender, but he doesn't get you those stocks that you want for fantasy basketball. And he's obviously not a great rebounder or assister either. So, yeah, it's all about scoring. But if you need some threes off the waiver wire, he's your man.
Next, we're going to talk about Mr. Champagne Showers himself. It's not Julian Champagne, it's Julian Champagne at 14% owned. A double-double recently as well, Braino. He kind of nice where you look at San Antonio at the moment and you're like, well, Wemby's still probably a week away from returning. Castle's still probably a week away from returning. Yes, they've got Fox. Yes, they've got Harper, but at the small forward, power forward spot, Vassell's been playing all right at the shooting guard as well, but when you're tossing up between him and Harrison Barnes, he's the breadwinner at the moment.
He is. He's being really good. I mean, his free throws are fantastic. His field goal percentage, if you're punting field goal, he's a great pickup. He'll get you a couple of threes a game, and the rebounds are outstanding for a guy of his position. So for me, I'm loving what he's putting up. Nearly a block a game over the last fortnight too. So like he's red hot over the last fortnight, and I think yes, you that time's going to run out. You just mentioned it. They've got guys coming back. So I think you can grab him, stream him for a week, and then piss him off. And I think that's probably the kind of role that he will play. But he can definitely contribute across multiple categories, as we've seen over the last fortnight. So, yeah, like him as a short-term pickup, but you just got to get ready to dump him when you're ready.
Let's talk about the San Antonio Spurs teammate, who I like adding him now. 5 blocks the other day against Orlando, which included the game-winning block against Franz Wagner. But Luke Cornett's value when Wemby is around is a lot better than what people actually give him credit for. It allows Wemby to stretch the floor a little bit, allows those mismatches, and he gets those nice little easy putback dunks inside where his field goal percentage stays incredibly high.
Simple game, isn't it, for him? Just very, very Ryan Kalkbrenner type game where it's just, do a little pick and roll, set your screens, roll through to the basket. Hopefully you get a little gimme there. He's been great. It's very rare that you can find a big man, just a true big man that actually shoots the free throw really well, as well as he has this year. Have you ever seen a guy over his career be more erratic from the free throw line, though? Let me read you his last 5 seasons of free throw percentage.
Yeah.
52.6, 67.5, and then we had a jump to 80.7%. And then the year after that, 23-24, he jumped to 90.7% from the free throw line. This is low volume stuff, so it's going to be erratic. And then last year, he dropped back down to 69.1. So, nice. And then we've had a big jump again over the last 30 days. He's shooting 82 again from the free throw line. Of course, it's on more shots this year, so it's on 2.3 shots per game rather than the sub 1. So yeah, it's bizarre, but the blocks are outstanding. That's what's pumping his value up.
Oh, incredible. And you look at the bloke play basketball, and he looks like the type of guy that come July 1 here in Australia, you're going to get your tax done through him. He just looks like a bloke that knows his numbers and knows fuck all else. But Luke Cornett, if you're looking for blocks and field goal percentage, he is your man and can get you some rebounds as well. But let's get a little bit spicier. Someone who has lit it up recently, not a household name, because, again, this bloke doesn't look like a basketballer. I'm talking about Cam Spencer, Braino.
been good since Jar's been out. I mean,
Hasn't he?
we were looking for someone to put their hand up, and he's kind of like the last person that can carry the rock really on this team. Obviously Vince Williams Jr. has done a great job. We spoke about him before, but Cam Spencer off the bench has been elite. He has been, over the last 14 days, he has been the 57th best player in fantasy basketball across 6 games. And of course, it's a small sample size, but free throws are great. Efficiency's really good. He's shooting 3 threes per game. He's just on a heater at the moment. 15 points, nearly 5 assists per game, and nearly a steal. So the numbers are nice. Obviously, we don't know Jar's day to day, so it's hard to get a proper gauge on how long he's going to be out for, whether he's even going to be there long term, or what this is all going to look like. Because Memphis just look like a complete basket case at the moment. We've got to get a bit more news on that. But I love Cam Spencer. I love his game, and he's putting up some really relevant fantasy basketball stats at the moment.
100% he is. Now, been looking forward to this bloke, not just because he plays for one of the nicest teams and funnest teams to watch in the NBA, and that's the Toronto Raptors. It's because we're talking about Sandro Mamukashvili.
Pretty
Did I
good.
get it?
Pretty good. Close. All right. Close enough to... honestly, you probably did better than me.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on audio, I am doing fist pumps at the moment because I am shithouse when it comes to pronunciations of surnames, as the NRL audience knows. But started today without Jakob Poeltl and did a really good job stretching the floor, hit 3 threes, got you some boards. I kind of like him, Braino. Even when Poeltl's in, he's got a bit of value coming off the bench as well. They don't have any other big man to play that role off the bench. And even when Poeltl plays, he's not playing big minutes due to the back injury that he's got at the moment, the management that's going on. Is this someone that, not just waiver type stuff, but is this someone we could look at even a little bit longer term?
Well, you're looking at his role when Poeltl's there, and he's still playing 18 to 22 minutes a night. And, he's played obviously 2 of the last 3 without Jakob Poeltl, and it's 27 and 36 minutes. And of course, the stats look great in those games. He had 9, 7, 1, 1, 2, and he had today 13, 8, 5, 2, 2. So there's a lot to like there. He shot 3 threes today as well. He's starting to come into his own with a fair few more minutes. In the games that he played 20-plus minutes this year, I'm just looking at the last 5 games. He shot 2 threes in nearly every single one of those, bar 1. He's gone double figures points in every single one of those games, and he's averaging what looks like 7+ rebounds per game. So, yeah, for me, there's definitely relevance long term. I think in deeper leagues, I'd say he's much more relevant and a guy that you can probably lean on in 20-team leagues or 18-team leagues. Even a 16-team, I'd be pretty comfortable picking him up. But yeah, I can't argue with that. He's good and even better with no Jakob Poeltl. That's just a little cherry on top, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Let's go to someone that's oft injured. And by that, I mean the last couple of years since he left the Boston Celtics, he hasn't really played a lot of basketball, but Robert Williams III, a proven defensive beast for the Boston Celtics, is now getting some run with the Portland Trailblazers now that his knees appear to be not too bad, touch wood. If he gets anything back to what he was in the 22-23 season, Braino, this could be an unbelievable ad for people at home at only 6% owned at the moment.
He's so good when he's on the court. It's just how often does he play? That's the main question mark, isn't it? Like, it's just a shame because he's so talented. Again, this year he's played 14 games so far. He's averaging 14 minutes per game, but in that time he's going 5-5 with a block and a half a game and nearly 700 from the floor. So there's a lot to like there in those categories that he does contribute to. It's just the minutes are a concern. Over the last 14 days, he's averaged 18 minutes per game, and those numbers come up to 7-7 with 3 blocks per game. So he's been on a heater the last fortnight, and that's just a taste of what we know that Robert Williams can do. The Time Lord. Like maybe he can wind back some time and go back to when he was healthy in Boston because he did have a couple of good years there.
He was unreal, wasn't he?
The 21-22 season's a big standout for me. He had 73 from the field, 10 and 10. Averaged a double-double with 2.2 blocks per game. Like, that's on 61 games as well. I don't know whether he's ever going to play 61 games again in his career in a season. But if you can juice out a few games and 20 minutes per game, if he starts to come into his own this year, he becomes a really nice pickup.
Definitely does. Second last on the list at 6% owned is someone that I probably wouldn't have recommended at the start of the week, Braino, but with Devin Booker going down with that groin injury, we talk about injury creating opportunity. Jordan Goodwin, he's someone that can also get it done at the defensive end, but given an opportunity, he can also score the ball.
He's been good. I mean, look, he did what he had to do in his role, and I think now that there's a little pathway to more minutes there. Obviously, he's played. He's been playing 20+ minutes pretty much all or most of this year. 24 minutes in his latest one where he scored 13 points. He's gone double figures in 7 of the last 10 games that he's played. He's going to get you an assist here or there, but his steal numbers are actually really impressive. There's 5 games here in his last 8 that he's gone 2+ steals. So, the defensive stats are going to be pretty nice from him, and you're going to get a cheeky little assist and a fair few boards as well for a guard. So, yeah, I like him. And I think as long as Devin Booker's out, he's definitely a hold and stream and then reassess when Booker's back.
For sure. And lastly, I have spoken about this man before. We both have, actually, from the Toronto Raptors as well. RJ Barrett out at the moment, so there's more of an offensive load on BI3 and also Scotty Barnes. But this guy coming off the bench, he gives you assists, he can shoot the ball, loves playing defense as well, and just plays with that energy and just seems like a really good team-orientated player. I know that doesn't matter in fantasy, but Jamal Shed, love watching him play basketball, Braino.
He doesn't do much else but steal and assist the ball with low turnovers. But again, we talked at the start of the show around Vince Williams Jr. and TJ McConnell and how good they are in that category and how hard assists are to find. And it's the steals for me that really bump him up, maybe even ahead of TJ McConnell. Like, TJ McConnell's a great stealer of the ball, great defender, but he's averaging 2.8 steals over the last couple of weeks, Jamal Shed. There's a lot to like there. The minutes are pretty good, pretty consistent. He's averaging around that 20 minutes per game, and that seems to be enough. If you don't need points and you're in a relatively defensive or assist-heavy build, he just tops off both of those categories and provides some elite contribution in both of those. So, really like. I mean, over the last 3 games, he's had 11 steals in his last 3. So, crazy numbers and very, very good signs of a player that will continue to get better as well. Like, he's only 23. He'll get better as he gets more minutes. And obviously it's hard to break into this rotation in Toronto, isn't it? They're pretty stacked from the start. But the fact they're giving him 20 minutes is plenty of positive signs.
100%. So the 10 that we've gone through here, ladies and gentlemen, just quickly, Vince Williams Jr., 18% owned. TJ McConnell from the Indiana Pacers, 17% owned. Miles McBride, 15. Julian Champagne Showers at 14% owned. Luke Cornett at 11. Cam Spencer at 7. We're going again. Braino, Sandro Mamukelashvili at 7%. I've been practicing that all day, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you. Oh, mate, it makes me feel so good. I'm going to go tell the missus how well I've done tonight too. Robert Williams, the third at 6%. Jordan Goodwin at 6%. And to cap it off, Jamal Shed, 4%. These are your 10 players that you'll find on your waiver wire, under 20% owned. If they can fit into your build specifically, go and grab them. And hopefully they can lead your team to victory over whether you're playing against an enemy, a mate, a family member, or whoever it might be. Sometimes your waiver ads are the difference between you making finals and not at the end of the year. So play it wisely, but if it means you winning, go ahead. These are the 10 that we recommend. For tonight, though, this is Braino. I'm the horse. It's been a pleasure, and we'll catch you again tomorrow. Peace.